Members of the committee, whether it's a loved one, a constituent in your district, or another case in the news, we all know someone who's been severely affected by opioid addiction.
I think what we were looking for, the intent of the study, was to provide guidance for our municipalities, whether they're urban or rural, as to what the appropriate application rates are. This bill works with the Department of Health to establish a work policy group comprised of healthcare workers, family members, and advocates, whose aim is to identify those in our state with PSP and other neurodegenerative diseases. It eliminates any statute of limitations for filing a claim against a state or local government for sexual battery actions involving a victim who is younger than 16. I want to make sure that we have the best information, and in this budget we are spending money to do a study to find out whether or not that we have good information with regard to how we're powering these things in our homes. Currently there's a discrepancy between procedures that can be performed in hospitals and those that can be performed in the outpatient settings. Senate Bill 1612 aligns statutory standards so hospitals can also perform these procedures. This 96-page, very exciting bill is the product of having the business law section of the Florida Bar, the Office of Insurance, Financial Regulation, committee staff, all the stakeholders work to modernize our statutes. And one of the things that really troubles a lot of families who are there is how long they are on a categoried wait list before they're eligible to receive services. And this is particularly stressful and provides a ton of anxiety for the caregivers themselves. Anybody who's ever had to be a caregiver to a family member not only worries about the day-to-day and how difficult that is, but what happens in 5 years? What happens in 10 years? What happens when I become too old to care for someone?
With the help of David and Jackie Siegel, who have advocated for the availability of naloxone following the tragic loss of their daughter Victoria, SB 66, or Victoria's Law, designates June 6th each year as Naloxone Awareness Day. Those who are suffering from addiction should not be caged out from society. That's why this bill works to encourage the Department of Health to raise awareness of the dangers of opioid overdose and how to safely use naloxone as an effective way to rapidly reverse the effects of an overdose.
The Senate Bill 532 substantially updates the Florida Securities and Investor Protection Act, Chapter 517 of Florida statutes, to promote economic development, enhance investor protections, revise exemptions to registration requirements, clarify and modernize existing definitions, and incorporate new definitions. It does that by promoting small business capital access, enhancing investor protections, and modifies exemptions to registrations for investment advisors.